And since then, we've gained 5.2 million new jobs across the country. The housing market has stabilized. Ford and GM are turning profits. Pell Grants have doubled. We're out of Iraq. And Family Guy cannot write any more jokes about Osama bin Laden. He's not around anymore for us to write jokes about it, and that's why we have to cut to Conway Twitty all the time. He's at the bottom of the sea now, so SpongeBob can do all the noise. We do have a long way to go, though, still. We have to get our troops out of Afghanistan and send them back to their homes. And since Obama repealed Don't Ask, Don't Tell, which was a major step forward in the name of all Americans being treated equally, we need to send some of our troops back to their fabulously decorated homes. Where we don't need to send them is Iran, which seems to be Romney's plan. Although if we do go to war with Iran, I'm glad we have gay soldiers who can sneak in undetected because Ahmadinejad doesn't believe that they exist. Worked very well for Peter Pan and the Lost Boys and their defeated captain. We need to fix our broken immigration system and pass the DREAM Act so that children who are going to school and obeying the law and maybe even serving this nation can become official, fully documented American meatheads like the rest of us. Mitt opposes the DREAM Act. So what would he say to a little 5-year-old Mexican boy who just arrived in America with the hope of working hard in school and one day serving his community? He would say, "Dad, I'm sorry, but the border's that way." His father was born in Mexico. I'm joking. Exactly. We need to repeal the diabolically named Defense of Marriage Act, this vicious, vicious little thing that treats millions of Americans like second-class citizens, which is why so many of them are angry on the Bravo network. We need to continue to seriously and meaningfully invest in the energy sources of the future, like wind and solar, and obviously wind power very big here in Iowa, as President Obama has done, instead of continuing to rely so heavily on oil, which is, let's face it, a messy substance that pollutes everything above and below us, and which we're going to inevitably run out of, and soon, no matter how much we drill. It's always baffled me that right next door in the solar system, I'm a space buff, we have this giant ball of raw energy just sitting there. Just 1 second of the sun's energy output would power the entire United States for 1,000,000 years. You could, in that amount of time, you could watch The Dark Knight Rises from start to finish. It would be very nice to find a way to harness that energy. And I've never understood why conservatives like Mitt Romney resist this kind of forward thinking. What are these conservatives conserving in that scenario? And the answer is, unfortunately, it's money. It's all about money. It's a few extra bucks for the rich guys. God forbid a billionaire oil man give up one diamond-plated toilet seat so that everyone else can live a little better. Okay, so here's what the dancing horse thing is. I'm not going to do that? Okay. Now, I'll tell Good joke. Great joke. I'll tell you one thing, and this is coming from a rich guy. The rich do not need the help. They don't need more tax breaks, which is what Mitt Romney will offer, dragging us back into the same kind of top-down economic structure that got us into this mess during the Bush presidency. Now, Obama has made very real, very significant strides when it comes to its repair, but as Mr. Spock reminds us in Star Trek II, it's far easier to destroy than to create. The Genesis device, remember? Yes. And I remember thinking the night that Obama was elected, this guy has a huge hurdle to overcome because everyone is going to expect him to magically fix this mess overnight. And nobody can do that. To the logical mind, if it takes 8 years to make a mess, it's probably going to take twice that long to clean it up entirely. It can be done, though. It can be done, but only if we keep moving forward in the right direction and finish what we've begun during the last 4 years. Here's something else that nobody ever brings up, and it's why Romney's top-down economic policies would bring us back down deeper into recession, and it's the reason those same policies under Bush put us there in the first place. And I never hear anyone talk about this, but it's something that I'm very aware of, and you know, in every industry where there's money, and certainly in entertainment, you see this at work. And it's the reason trickle-down economics doesn't work. The theory of trickle-down, of course, is that in a bad economic landscape, you boost the rich by giving them tax cuts and loopholes. They'll spend more, and it'll trickle down to everyone else. And the reason this fails over and over is the fundamental psychology of the rich guy. He must stay rich at all costs. He has gotten comfortable there, and he's forgotten how to live any other way. And it doesn't matter if he cut his taxes, because he's still going to look out the window of his penthouse and he'll say, my God, it's bad out there. I got to do everything I can to keep my dough safe until things get better. But of course, in the top-down economic model, it won't get better until he spends. So you have this nasty, vicious little circle that won't improve. And Romney is proposing $5 trillion in tax cuts for the richest Americans. I do not trust an economic plan that depends on the actions of guys like Thurston Howell.